You take just about anybody and put them in a rocking chair, and you know what they're going to do? They're going to start rocking. You know what that is? That's stimming. The reason I say that is because everybody does it. This is not something that is unique to autism or Asperger syndrome. Now, put the same person in, I don't know, port swing. Same thing, they start rocking back and forth because, well, it's just natural. So why is this associated with autism, with Asperger syndrome? Because it seems to be more pronounced. It's more obvious. We tend to do it more obviously. We do it more often. So what are the 5 types of stimming? Now, some of these you're familiar with, some of them you may not be, but number 1 is visual stimming. By visual stimming, we simply mean that we are fascinated maybe by something that is moving, like a ceiling fan. Just sit there and stare at it. I do this sometimes because I try with my eyes, I try to catch it in still motion. I don't know why I do that, but it's kind of relaxing. So I do that now and again, not very often. Uh, Remember when you were a kid, maybe before there was air conditioning and you had these fans, rotary fans? And you'd sit in front of the fan and you'd make noises. You'd hum or you'd ah or whatever, and the sound would come back to you. Is that stimming? Probably not, but it's kind of the same idea. Now, there's a type of stimming that is visual stimming that is kind of bothersome. That's when you stare at people. I'm really bad at that, particularly when I was a kid. I thought people were fascinated, and I thought I was invisible. So I would just stare at people. I'd study them. Well, people don't like to be stared at. I don't like to be stared at. I don't think you do either. And some people are intimidated by that, particularly men. They think you're trying to start something. And if you're staring at a woman, she gets the wrong idea or thinks you had the wrong idea. Yeah, you're just looking at her. She may as well be just as easily be a chair or something, some other object. But it's something different to look at, and that's a form of stimming. Number 2 is auditory stimming. That's where we listen to the same noise or words, or sometimes even a song, over and over and over again. When I was a kid, first thing I do, get home from school, get on my bike, go outside, and ride up and down the alley. Then when I get in, come back in the house, I put on my records. I liked, for some reason, I was attached to Southern gospel music. I'm talking 11, 12, 13 years old. Most kids like the Beatles, the Rolling Stones. I like the Blackwood Brothers, the Statesmen, sometimes the Stamps Quartet. Why? I like the harmony. And I would play those records over and over again, the same song. Now, these are LP records where you had to lift you remember this? You had to lift the arm on the record player and put it right down at the exact spot to play the song again. And I would do that over and over again until my sister got fed up, took my record, and she smashed it. But I had other records, not to worry. And then, that's what I would do. I'd go out, ride my bicycle in a figure 8, and I'd come in and play my records. That is auditory stimming. What about number 3 is tactile stimming? This is something I don't think I've ever done, but some people, they like the feeling of maybe fabric or the feeling of the skin. Some people, they pick scabs. That's kind of gross. Maybe biting your fingernails, maybe a type of that stimming, but they call it tactile stimming primarily because you like the feel of fabric, of textiles. So you're feeling this fabric, and it's very soothing. It gives you that little bit of stimulation that you need, a little break from the environment that you are around. Number 4 is what we call olfactory or smell stimming. Now, personally, I like apple cinnamon. I don't know why, but I get that spray can sprayed around my cabin here, sprayed around my car, sprayed around my house. I think it smells good. I'm not sure that's stimming because stimming is when someone gets obsessed almost with a certain smell and they just smell it over and over and over again. That is olfactory smell stimming. Or maybe they say that some people, they'll lick something. Maybe it tastes good, or it feels good to lick it, and they'll lick it. I can't imagine that, but people actually do this. It's a form of stimming. Now, number 5 is body awareness. This is called proprioceptive or vestibular stimming. Body awareness, and when I think of stimming, this is what I think of. Some people, when they stim, they flip their hands, flap their hands. Some of them may pop their knuckles. Some may twiddle their thumbs. Now, what I do, remember we talked about rocking at the very beginning? That's what I do. If you see me out and about, you see me in a restaurant somewhere, what you'll see me doing probably is you'll see me rocking. Who needs a rocking chair? I don't need a rocking chair. I can stim without one. All right, just for the fun of it, let's take a minute. Well, this may take 2 minutes, but I've got 36 examples of stimming, and I'm going to read through these very quickly, so pay attention. See if any of them relate to you. Are you ready? Here we go. Biting fingernails, bouncing leg or foot, a lot of people do that, bouncing, jumping, or twirling, chewing or mouthing objects, clapping, clearing throat or coughing repetitively, clenching fists, cracking knuckles or other joints. These, by the way, are in alphabetical order, no particular order other than that. Number 10, flapping hands, very common. 11, flicking light switches off and on. I don't recommend that. Flicking, snapping, tapping, or drumming fingers. Head banging or dragging head on the floor. I can't imagine dragging your head on the floor, but apparently some people do it. Humming or whistling. Licking things. Lining up toys or rearranging objects. Moving or waving fingers in front of eyes. Moving toes, opening and closing doors. I'm trying not to bore you. I'm just reading the list, so stick with me. Pacing, picking at scabs where there were sores. Punching. Repeating words, phrases, or sounds, repetitive or hard blinking. Rocking back and forth. Rubbing or stroking particular types of objects, fabrics, or surfaces. Rubbing, scratching, or picking at skin, singing the same song repeatedly. Yep, I know that. Sniffing things, spinning in circles, spinning objects, twirling. Can you spin a penny or a quarter, put it on a flat surface, spin it? I love doing that. Staring at a visual, staring at people. Staring at rotating objects like a ceiling fan, tapping a pencil, twirling or pulling hair, and walking on your tiptoes. You want to keep on talking? All right, you see those 2 rectangles on the screen. If you like what we've been saying, just click on one of those rectangles. We'll keep talking together. If not, thanks for stopping by, and we'll see y'all next time.